Welcome back to Ravens Today. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all of the latest Ravens news. Let's get into what I've heard around the bend here. So, Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum were at the optional preseason workouts yesterday, speaking to the media, and they had said that they had not had any talks with Ravens personnel about possible contract extensions. But they didn't seem very, worried about it. They said, yeah, we're gonna leave it to our agents to handle that, and we're just here to ball, which I like. I think that's really a really professional answer from the players, just saying, hey, we're here to represent the team. We're here to work out. We're here to win games for this football team. We don't have to worry about anything contract related. We'll just let our agents handle that. I think that's a very professional answer. I think that the reason why the Ravens haven't had these talks yet is that because they're waiting until after the draft. I feel like that once the draft is over, then they will have those talks with their star players and be able to work on contract extensions because the draft 11 picks is a lot of picks, and they have to make sure that every pick is right and make sure that they are adding the players that are most needed to this Ravens team. So again, I'm not really worried about this development. The players don't seem worried about this development. Like I said, when they were talking, they said that it's not what on their minds right now. They let their agents handle it. So again, I don't think there's any need to worry. I think the Ravens know what they're doing, and they will have those contract talks after the draft is over and into the summertime. I will bet money that Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum will have contracts before preseason starts. I just think that they're too valuable for the Ravens to let go, and I think there'll definitely be a contract laid out on the table that these players will sign by or before the preseason. Moving on, the Roquan Smith also talked with Ravens personnel at these optional offseason training workouts yesterday, and he had mentioned that he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to get right back into it, get in gear. Get some hardware, Super Bowl. Love that mentality from Roquan Smith. He had also said that he and Trenton Simpson have already started working out together, playing the field together, practicing together, trying to develop some more chemistry together. And I feel like this is a great move by Roquan Smith. I feel like him teaching Trenton Simpson or like mentoring him is a very awesome thing for him to do. I think that Trenton Simpson can learn a lot from Roquan Smith and be at some level where he is, the starter next to Roquan by the preseason. Do I think that Trenton Simpson has a lot of potential? Yes. I think that this will just, allow him to, dial it down and be the player that the Ravens want him to be, especially if he's being trained under Roquan. I wouldn't say trained, just more, mentored under Roquan, and that develops that chemistry that we saw with Patrick Queen before he went to the Steelers. I think that it's a great move. I think Trenton Simpson could be better than Patrick Queen, and I think that but that again, that's just me, being biased. Patrick Queen is on the Steelers, so gotta, bash the Steelers a little bit in terms of player wise. And Patrick Queen, you're no different. I think Trenton Simpson will be better than you under the tutelage of Roquan Smith. Also, Mark Andrews spoke recently about his about that divisional round playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. He had mentioned that he had his gloves on during that whole game, and they felt slippery to him, which is odd considering that there was frost on the field and it was extremely cold. I'm not really sure what his mentality was in that, or why not just take the gloves off and just bare hand the ball a little bit. It does get cold, just heat up. I mean, I think that this wasn't really an excuse for his effort in the game. But again, I don't think he I think he was kind of trying to find an excuse for it. I mean, I'm not really sure if that's the truth or not, but that's what he said. And he also said that on the topic of the comments that Eric Acosta made about him, and on the trade rumors that have been swirling around him, he said at the end of the day, he is a Raven. He loves this team, loves this organization, but he also said that he understands the business aspect of it, but he will always play his heart out as a Raven. I think that's a more professional response. But it's weird to me that he would say that his gloves were slippery during the game, and he was just afraid to take them off and catch the ball barehanded. I mean, I don't think that's much of an excuse. This is not the first time that he has fumbled the ball in playoffs, but I'm sorry, I don't know if that's a valid excuse for your playoff performance, Mark Andrews, but I still think Mark Andrews is a great player, and I still think that the Ravens could use him in different ways. And again, he was very professional with his response about the trade rumors about him. So I guess we're still waiting and looking to see if the Ravens are going to give the green light for a trade with Mark or keep him for next season. Also, the Sports Illustrated had the pre-draft rankings published for for the NFL. Usually these rankings don't matter, at least to me. But the Ravens were ranked number 1 in the AFC and number 3 overall, behind the Eagles and the Lions. I'm not really. I don't like these pre-draft rankings. Don't really matter to me. I mean, yes, the Ravens did lose players in the free agency: Brandon Stevens, Patrick McCary, for starters. But these players can definitely be replaced, especially Brandon Stevens. I think that any Ravens any Ravens corner could pick up the slack from Brandon Stevens and do better than him. Anyone that they pick up on the draft, free agency, or anyone on the practice squad for that. But I think that the Ravens were very smart in who they re-signed and who they signed to in this free agency. They re-signed Ronnie Stanley, they signed DeAndre Hopkins, and I think that the Ravens are going to be smart with what their picks are going to be for this draft. So again, the Ravens let go of their expendable players and then are going to easily replace them. So I guess that's kind of what the pre-draft rankings mean. Personally, I think the Ravens are the best team in the NFL. They just need to stop being the Ravens, stop beating themselves when it comes to games. But I just think that these pre-draft rankings do not matter. The Ravens are the best team in the NFL. This list is just based off of the offseason so far. Eagles won the Super Bowl, so obviously they're first. Lions are one of those teams that could go to the Super Bowl pending any injuries that they have, and the Ravens are the team to beat in the AFC. I just think that this doesn't matter. Like, Ravens fans, I would think you don't think it matters either. Let's see what happens come draft night for this team. I think we're going to have one of the best drafts we've ever seen in terms of the players that we acquire and the level of depth we're going to have. We are going to have one of the best drafts we've ever had. And I hope that we get another star player. We had Nate Wiggins last season or last draft, who excelled last season. I want another player like him, and we're going to get a lot more, especially with 11 picks. If you disagree with any of my takes, comment down below. My name is Connor Gioffreda. Thank you for tuning into the Ravens Today show. I will catch you all later, and thank you for tuning in for pre-draft night. We're so close, baby. Let's get it.